Well, we hear about women who have fought breast cancer. We hear about that all the time. But the numbers of men who get that disease, they're staggering. Did you know 2,240 new cases of breast cancer were diagnosed in 2013? 410 of them died. And all of this was just this year.
Today, as you know, is the last day of October, and that means it's the last day for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So we wanted to bring you an inspirational story of one person who has fought it and beaten it. Frank Fabish is here this morning, and he is a survivor. Thank you so much for being here, Frank.
You're welcome.
We appreciate your time. And Brandon Smith is here, who's a genetic counselor who can talk a little bit about how men end up getting this just like women do. Frank, this is something you're still going through right now. You were diagnosed in August?
In August, yes,
Wow.
correct.
What has this process been like for you as a man to suddenly say, I have breast cancer?
Well, I think the first question you ask yourself is why me? And I got over that pretty fast. Had no choice.
Right.
And then the next step was after second opinion was the surgery and the unknowns going into the surgery and coming out. And the last stage has been the lab testing to determine what the after effects are going to be and what the long-term treatment is going to be. So this is a process that has gone over almost 5 weeks.
Now, Brandon, is this a different breast cancer, a different kind of breast cancer than women get?
Honestly, men and women, the diagnosis of breast cancer can be very similar. Of the numbers that you showed, a majority of them are kind of the common variety of breast cancer, the same as women get.
Really? Okay.
The treatment options are also very similar.
So for a woman, you think, well, estrogen must obviously come into play. Is this an estrogen-related thing for men as well?
Male breast cancer can also feed off of estrogen, the same as female breast cancer.
Frank, when they gave you the diagnosis, did you say, "What? No, this is not a guy thing. This can't be right. I need second and third opinions"?
I tried to ignore it.
Did
Really?
you?
The first diagnosis, and after it settled in, then you realize that cancer is not biased.
Right.
It'll choose anybody, any age, any time, and the question is after you let the experts deal with it, what's going to be the outcome, and put it in the hands of the experts, the surgeons, and then the oncologists.
So how did you find it? How did this even begin?
In my annual physical, my primary care physician, Bill Maines, diagnosed it, and then things just quickly escalated after it was diagnosed.
Was it a lump you could see, or did he feel it? How did that happen?
He felt it.
He felt it.
And then he scheduled me for the test to confirm that what it was. And at that point in time, I wasn't giving myself breast exams.
Sure.
Why should I?
Right.
This isn't a guy thing.
Right.
But it is.
But it is.
So after he showed me where it was, then you could feel it was about a little bit smaller than a marble.
Interesting. Huh.
Brandon, we talk about the genetics that go with this all the time, especially for women, but you said that those are the same genes in men that can also trigger the same thing. So are we at as big a risk or not?
That's a great question, and when we see men with breast cancer at any age, it's kind of a red flag for us to think about the genetics of breast cancer. Obviously, breast cancer is more common in women than men, so we're more concerned about a genetic breast cancer in women being at a younger age. But for men, any age of breast cancer, because it's more rare, is concerning, and these are genes that can cause it that men and women carry alike, and it's when there's a change in those genes. I have those genes, you have them, we all have them. It's when there's a change that exists in one of those genes that they stop functioning properly that we're concerned about increased risks for cancer. Back to your question about is it as high of a risk, the answer to that is no. Women who have mutations in these breast cancer genes have somewhere from a 55 to 85% lifetime risk of breast cancer.
Wow.
Men have a 1 to 6% chance, but that's increased compared to the about 0.1% that the average man has of developing breast cancer.
That's something.
Gentlemen, thank you both for being here.
Frank,
You're welcome.
we got our fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Best
Thank
of
you.
everything.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you both.